Welcome to the Success Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Christian Evans. This podcast is for adults who wants to achieve success in their fitness journey. And our special guest today, Jalen Ford, will help us do just that by sharing his story, how after weighing in at over 300 pounds, reading a book taught him patience to get over his all or nothing mindset, which led him to begin intermittent fasting that helped him to lose 100 pounds. Without further ado, Success Fitness family, please welcome Jalen Ford to the podcast. How you doing, Jalen?
I'm good. I appreciate you for having me on.
Man, no problem. So quick story about me and Jalen is that we're both from Peoria, in Peoria. And I've been seeing this guy in the gym for maybe past, I would say probably about a year or so. And then maybe probably about 4 to 6 months, I've just been seeing him shrink. And I'm like, you know what? This guy's been doing something. You know, he's in there constantly working, constantly putting the time in. And I just spoke, one day because I'm always somebody's cheerleader because I can always, see when somebody is, progressing. And we got to talking, and long story short, here we are. So I'll let Jalen introduce himself as far as where he's from and what motivated him to start his fitness journey.
So my name is Jalen Ford. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Peoria. So what motivated me to start this journey is the diabetes diagnosis. I had always kind of, you lose some, gain it back, lose some. I had always kind of, been in that type of thing. I was always a heavier kid. This has been going on for years. But when I got that, I knew it was time to be serious about it and make a major change,
Yeah. So what year was this in regards to the diabetes diagnosis?
The pandemic, 2020.
Okay.
Right. It was like a week after my birthday. My birthday, June 8th. So it was like the 16th.
Okay. Yeah, we were going through a lot in 2020. So walk me through what that doctor's visit was like. Was it scheduled, or were you not feeling good prior to going in there?
Right. I went to the hospital. I just wasn't feeling good.
Get out of here. What were some of your symptoms?
Couldn't stop sleeping. That was one. At that point, it might sound crazy, but I just couldn't get a clear thought. It was like a million thoughts running through my head at once. I couldn't think clearly. It was like mental fog. Very thirsty. That's how I knew. I was like, I'm too thirsty. Constant urination. I'm like, yeah, something ain't right. Yeah, and I was kind of already thinking that because my dad had it, and I seen some of his symptoms. My grandpa too. So I was like, yeah, I think I might have crossed that line.
Okay. And have you seen, like you said, your father and you said your grandfather had it,
right?
And that was probably always kind of like in the back of your head. But when you're young, you're like, oh, that won't.
Correct.
Me, but as you get older, you start thinking a little different, especially, during the pandemic. So did you see, well, obviously you probably did, but see them, like, how did they handle it? I think that's what I'm asking it. Like, how did you see them handle it, or what were, some of the things that you have, like similarities, or what was that? How did that look like?
I noticed with the older generation, they just stuck in their ways. They like whatever, they gonna ride it out. They gonna ride it out.
Yeah, you're right. And then sometimes we find out at the last second. It's like, how come you didn't tell me that? That's kind of how I felt like with my when I went to the hospital. I was like 26 when my mother passed. So probably about like 23. Appreciate it. When I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, I got admitted to the hospital. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what is this? And then my mom was like, yeah, I got it. And I'm like, why didn't you say nothing? But I don't even know now, even looking at it, like, what would I have done if she did tell me? I'd probably just blew it off like a young person, like, that's your problem, not mine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So walk me through that day. So you weren't feeling good. How long were you feeling good? Was it like for a day, couple of days, a week?
This had been going on for probably like a week. And what's funny is I'm like, I don't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So I just took a couple of days. I said, I'm not going to eat crazy. And I started feeling better. So I was like, maybe I was just sick or something. But then, get back into my routine. I start feeling sick again. That's when I'm like, something's not right.
I got you.
Something's not right.
So what type of foods were you eating like prior prior to that.
I am a sugar addict. I am
Oh,
a
you and me
complete
both.
sugar.
You and
Yeah,
me both. Yeah.
I
That's
am a
the number one
sugar
drug in America. That's the
for
number
sure,
one
for
drug in
sure. Yeah,
the
yeah.
world. In the world,
Yes,
is sugar.
absolutely, absolutely. Like I'm not one of those people that can do portion control, so I just don't bring it in the house no more.
Yeah.
Like
All
there's
out.
no way if I know it's a bag of chips there, I'm going to eat the bag. I'm not going to eat 5 chips,
Yeah.
6 chips.
It has to
I'm
be
eat the bag.
gone. Yeah. It
Correct,
has to
exactly.
be
So I just
it.
don't even bring it in the house no more.
Right,
Some
right,
people can
right.
do that, and I think that's real good on them, but that doesn't work for me.
Yep. And you gotta know yourself. You gotta know
Correct.
yourself and
That's the
don't try to
one.
play
That's the
with it.
one.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, let me
Right.
still bring it in and let me see if I can discipline myself.
Right.
And it's
And
like,
then
you
you'll
know
be
what?
right. Right.
We've gone through that and we know enough about ourselves
Correct.
to be like, you know what? I
Exactly.
know I'm
Exactly.
not going to do good with that, and that's okay. Because at least you
Right.
know. At least you
Exactly.
know. And so you
Exactly.
were heavily sugar as far as like sweets. So what was your thing as far as sweets? Was it candy? Was it
Don't
cakes?
candy and donuts. Candy and
Okay.
donuts for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Donuts from where? Where did you like yours from?
Walmart. Walmart actually has the best donuts. It
Yeah.
might sound crazy,
Okay.
but I've never been a big like sugar drinker though. Like soda, I don't struggle with that or anything. It got to be
I
something
got you.
soft. It has to be,
I
something
got
solid
you.
than
I got you. I got you. Yeah, donuts, they'll get to you. So you've been eating that. It's the pandemic going on. It's already, paranoia just going on. So I can only imagine what was going
Correct.
through your head
We all just
at the
sitting at
time.
home,
Yeah.
sitting at home.
Yeah. You're at home. Uh, and then you start not feeling good. And it's like, man, is this COVID? Am I about to go? You know what I mean? I'm about to check out of here because, top of 2020
Actually,
or just
right,
midway into
right,
2020,
right,
June, you're like, all right, what's going on? You really don't know. We really don't know. It's
right.
2023 now. We got more information now, but in the midst of that, like we all didn't know what was going on. But you end up going to the
Mm-hmm.
doctor, and what was that visit like? Like when you sat in there and
Yeah, they asked me. It was nighttime. I went the whole day, and I'm like,
okay, okay,
I was just about to go to sleep, and I'm like, no, I need to go.
okay,
So when I went in there, they asked a few questions, took my blood sugar, and said, "That's actually no." They took my urine first. And they're
mm-hmm,
like, "Yeah, you got ketones in your urine. That's not good." And
mm-hmm,
then they took the blood sugar, and I was like, "Yeah, that's very high."
okay,
And then I
okay.
ended up staying. I probably stayed in the hospital for like 4 or 5 days just from
Really?
me telling them I didn't feel good. They was like, "Yeah, you're very sick." They're like,
Okay, so
"You're
you got admitted. So you got admitted to the
right,
hospital.
right,
Okay,
right."
okay. So what was going through your head while you were admitted? Like, what was
I was so
some of your
sick.
thoughts?
I slept for like 2 days straight. Like the only
Uh,
time I was that sick. The only time I was waking up was when they was waking me up to constantly check my sugar. My
yeah, don't
fingers
they
were
kind of
swollen.
irritate you? You're trying to sleep and they constantly wake you up in the middle of the night.
Every time I would wake up, right, I constantly through the night, I felt like I was finna puke. Like I was sick for like 2 days. I just slept, and then
Yeah.
after that, I started feeling better.
Okay.
But
Okay.
this one specific moment, I was laying in there, and I heard the nurses outside talking, and I hear one of them say, "Oh, he's really sick. Like he has diabetes." Like, oh my god, and it was very embarrassing. Actually, I was like,
Yeah.
I ain't going out like this. Like I'm too young for this. I can hear them talking, but I don't know if they know that I heard. I'm just like, yeah, that's embarrassing. It's like
I got you. Yeah. And it's sometimes you wonder why you hear certain things, and obviously you took action for it, and then looking back at it, it was like kind of a weird motivation. Like, man, they're just talking about my
right.
business out there, but then at the same
Yeah,
time,
just in the open. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Kind of, in the hindsight of 2020, you can look at it from multiple different, perspectives. But I remember being in the hospital bed. I think I was in there probably about the same amount of time, 3 or 4 days. Every time I was getting ready to go to sleep, they're waking me up, prodding me, blood pressure, medicine and everything like that. Granted, of the severity of the situation, because I went in with a huge headache, Like even these lights that I got on right now, you know what I mean?
My brother struggled with it, so I know what you mean. I know exactly what you
Yeah,
mean.
man. Like this, it was like the sunlight. The sunlight was getting me. I mean, I had the shades on. I was in the backseat of the car. He thought I was being chased by the paparazzi and trying to dodge him. It was like I had a huge headache. But yeah, I do remember going to the hospital for that, and I'm thinking like, I don't even know if I was thinking about, is this it? Because, again, young, thinking that, yeah, I'll recover from this. This is nothing. This is nothing. Not really grasping the severity of it. So being that you said your father and your grandfather had it, did you then grasp the severity or the gravity of the diabetes or the situation, or how did you process that?
Yeah, I did, but I had it in my mind that I wasn't taking insulin. I already had that in my mind, not poking myself. And I told them that, and they didn't agree, but I knew I wasn't, you know.
I
I
gotcha.
knew I wasn't. And yeah, I knew that was an option for me. Once you start with the medicines and stuff, you basically giving up, in my opinion. Like if
I
you don't
gotcha.
try to at least do it naturally, to me, you giving up.
Man, that's deep.